EventMobi is is going to demo their event management platform that replaces, like, this is the event platform that replaces the static websites and siloed tools with AI that answers every attendee questions in context and takes real action across your systems. So events runs smarter, faster, and with far less manual work. I'm super excited to welcome Thorben on stage. Thorben, unmute yourself and come on stage, please.
Hello. Thank you. All right, I guess I'm going to start. Hi, I'm Thorben, Head of AI and Automation at EventMobi. Over the next 10 minutes, I'm going to show you two things we've built. One that transforms how your attendees, speakers, exhibitors experience your event before they arrive, and one that shows what's possible when AI actually does something with your event data and not just answering questions about it. So let's get into it. Imagine this. You've spent 10 months planning your event. You've run campaigns, sent emails, paid for ads, just to get people to go to your registration thing. You've done everything right to get that attention. And then they land on your registration page and they have a question that you haven't answered. Or maybe it's buried 3 pages deep. Or honestly, they just don't have the patience to look. Because I know I don't, none of us do. We'd rather ask. Here's what that costs you. The conversion you just paid for. Because if they can't get a straight answer fast, they bounce. Or, which I hate even more, they email you, and now you've got an inbox problem on top of a conversion problem. Here's the thing. Events are about hospitality. That registration page is the very first interaction someone has with your event. It sets the tone for everything that follows, and that first impression deserves better than a static FAQ page nobody reads. So, my question for you is, what if your registration page had a concierge that actually understands who it is talking to? And to demo this a little bit, I'm going to put on my attendee hat for a moment. Oh my God, I've been looking forward to making that joke. Please appreciate it. And imagine I'm an attendee and I'm joining, I want to join this conference. So I have this little button here, which is our Ask Mobi AI registration concierge, and I can ask it a question. Now, this is a live demo. I just copy-paste the question because you don't want to see me typing. So what I'm writing here is, I'm a university student. I heard about the conference. What is there about tickets to know? And you see, it's not pulling from a drop-down. It understood the context. And one thing that's really funny is when we prepared this demo, we put a discount code for students into the system so that in theory the system could serve that discount code, but you see it understands what a student is, so it suggests a free ticket instead because, students like free. So it's one question and one completely personalized answer. Now, attendees are not the only people at your event. You obviously also have exhibitors. So you know what's going to happen now. I'm going to put on my exhibitor hat for a moment. So I'm a different person, very different use case, using the same tool. I'm asking it, do you have any details about the cost of sponsorship opportunities at this conference? And again, this is all live. It takes a couple of seconds. And you see completely different answer. Package tiers, pricing, the right contact to reach out to. And so this is one tool, 2 different conversations because it knows who it is talking to. This is the thing that no static web page can do. Different people land on the same page and get answers that are actually relevant to them. Now I'm going to do one more. I'm very sorry about the color, by the way. That was an accident. I didn't think that one through. But imagine I'm a speaker and I want to submit a session proposal, and I am too lazy to search the web page about what's going on with submissions. So I'm asking Ask Mobi AI registration concierge here, what topics are you prioritizing this year and when is the deadline? And it tells me, I'm really sorry, the deadline has passed, you've missed the window. That's fine, that is the correct answer. So again, it draws from the program, it knows what's in the agenda, it tells me what's going on, and one thing that somebody mentioned in, I think it was Bizzabo that mentioned it in the fourth leadership session, is about, well, how do we avoid hallucinations? So what happens if I put in a question that it doesn't have the answer to? It tells me, that's a great question, but I do not know. So we've really trained this hard to make sure it doesn't invent anything. And that's a guardrail that's non-negotiable, because you cannot have your concierge promising things that you have never offered. Remember that time when Ford's chatbot offered people free cars? We don't want that to happen to you. Okay, I'm going to take my hats off. How does this thing actually work? Or how do you set it up? It's actually really, really easy. There's three things that you need to do. So first one is on the EventMobi backend, you set the brand. How should it talk to your attendees? Every event has a different voice. Julius is so fired up today, so you could tell it to be fired up, or more warm and welcoming, or maybe sharp and professional, or maybe you want to do something completely different and you can just define your own voice and say, talk like Jon Stewart. Secondly, it already knows most about your registration size, the ticket types, the speakers, and so on. It read all of it. So everything that's on your registration site, that's already on there. But then there's also stuff that doesn't go on your registration site, but that you would reply to in an email. So here you have the opportunity to upload any kind of other knowledge that is kind of not on your website, but that people can receive when being asked, when you ask about. And then finally, you may have seen this, there are these thumbs up and thumbs down buttons, so it gets smarter over time. If a question comes and the backend handles it poorly, you can see it, you can improve the answer and it learns, so you're never locked into a basic setup. So the result is that you get a higher conversion on the page because people get answers instead of bouncing. And you have happier attendees because they feel taken care of and fewer emails in your inbox. And by the way, the show hasn't even started yet, but once the registration closes, you can just update it with everything attendees need to know, and it becomes your post-registration concierge. Travel questions, logistics, what to bring, what is the best bar, one setup, and the whole attendee journey is covered. So I promise I'm going to show you two things. That was about the attendee experience. Now let me show you what AI can do on the operation sides. And this one is especially for everybody that's a speaker in the room. EventMobi has a product that we call the Automation Hub. It's the one place for your integrations with CRM systems and so on, your automations and your AI workflows. And here's what that means practically. It connects EventMobi to over 1,000 other apps, point and click, drag and drop. So all of your data is in one place. And if you know Zapier, it's like Zapier. You can use it to, for example, automatically translate bios and stuff like that. And you can also use it with any AI system, Claude, Gemini, ChatGPT, so it's not just moving data around, but it's intelligent. I'm going to show you what this can look like. Every speaker at every event asks the same question before they go on. Who's in the room? And until now, the question really is, well, here's an attendee list. And even if you wanted to put a room briefing together for every speaker, it is so much work. So this is how you could do it with Automation Hub. We built this speaker briefing that essentially every morning of the conference runs, looks at all the sessions that are there, and for each session gets the session details, gets who are the speakers, gets who are registered attendees who have signed up through the app, and creates an SMS briefing and an email briefing for the speaker. I'm going to show you what that looks like on my phone very, very briefly. So, well, I'm just going to hold my phone in the camera for a second. So you see there's a text message that automatically got sent, but also there is an email briefing that got sent that shows you how many attendees have signed up, what are their interests, faces to nose. It even suggests icebreakers based on the people that are in the room and based on their backgrounds. And honestly, to me, this is something incredible, and this is something that was not possible before. So yeah, that's what we're doing. You saw a registration platform that can talk to your attendees. You saw automation that is predictable, that is easy to use, and that makes sure that you have control over what you're doing. And this is, sorry, now I showed our MCP. I'm not even supposed to show this. Sorry.
Okay, we didn't see it. Well, I mean, after the 3-camera demo, we have the 3 hats demo. Like, we're stepping it up. I love it. Thorben, thank you again for your dedication and passion to the industry.